Hi there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter, and today I'm going to show you how to make candles with your crock pot, aka what you can do besides cooking with your kitchen appliances, because I don't like to cook and making candles is so much more fun. Alright, so I've made lots of candles from, these are wine bottles that I cut off. You can see that in a video that I shot a couple weeks ago, well, about a week ago, I don't know. Just scroll back a few, you'll find it. So this is a wine bottle that I finished off last night, and I cut it in half and I sanded the edge so it's not sharp. Now, to make a candle, you need a wick, and that is, you know, the thing you light. Obviously, duh. I'm a little loopy, I'm trying to do this quickly because my camera's about to run out of batteries. So enough jibber jabber. Alright, this is wicking, and this is by the Yale company, and it's a big spool of 50 yards. You may never need this much. I make quite a bit of candles, so I have this in a couple of sizes, and it tells you how big your candles should be. This is for 3 to 4 inches in diameter, so it's just big enough to use with these wine bottles. For making tapers, you use a smaller wick. For making larger candles, you use a larger wick, so it's pretty easy to remember. So what I'm going to do is snip off about, I would say, 8 inches of wicking, and then I'm going to lift the lid on my crock pot, which has wax already melted in there, and let me show you what I do. If I was going to like make taper candles, I have soup cans that I have filled with wax, and I would just put them in a pot of boiling water to melt them, and that melts down really quick. But you really have to babysit that. You cannot wander off. You have to be completely attentive. And with a crock pot, I can putter around. I wouldn't go off and leave it on, but I can putter around in my studio while it's warming up. And I buy my wax in big, 10 pound, 20 pound slabs, and then I chop it up like this, and I just dunk it in and let it melt. This is all melted and ready to go. Also, sometimes you'll get little bits of debris, like if you're recycling some old candles, so I've got a piece of aluminum screening on a plastic fork that I'll use to kind of go through and pick out any, I don't know, leftover wicks from old candles or glitter or whatever else that finds its way into my crock pot. You never know. You never know in my studio. Alright, so that's just the one done. I put wax in here, I've heated it up for about 4 hours, it's all nice and melty. And now I'm just going to dip the wick a couple times just to make it stand up and be a little easier to work with. And then I'm going to take a craft stick, popsicle stick, whatever you want to call it, and I'm going to wrap the wick around it. And it stays really well. You could use a pencil, but I find that the popsicle sticks don't roll, they work a lot better. Alright, so now we've got our wine glass. You can tell what I get on the wine. We get our wine. I have not had any of this today. I got my wine bottle bottom, got my wick and my stick. And then I'm going to center it in the bottle. And I'm going to roll it up a little bit so that it doesn't bend as I'm centering it in. And a sticky outy thing on the bottom, that's called the punt. You want to get the wick as close to the punt as you can. And you might even want to pour a little wax in there and then let it set so you can get it centered out and stuck there. Or you could use a little bit of wax, a little bit of clay or something, but I find that I can center it up pretty well like that. Oops, see that? There we go. Now I'm going to ladle in some wax. This is awesome. I love this little enamel pot with a handle. My daughter got this for me at Zeb's. Big shout out to North Conway, New Hampshire. This summer when we were on vacation, she thought that I just had to have this. It would be something I'd find very useful. And as soon as I saw it, I thought that is going to be my wax ladle because it's got a flat bottom with a long handle. I can set it right in there and it will stand up, and then I've got a nice cool handle to grab, so it's really fantastic. Alright, and I'll just adjust to make sure that my wax is centered, and I can't tip it or I'm going to pour wax all over my floor, but you can get the gist. And I can get that wax off the outside later. Alright, so after you've poured that, you're going to let it harden. And when you come back and look at it in a couple days or a couple hours, you're going to notice that, I'm going to show you this one because this has only been poured once, that you've got a big indent. Let me see, can you see that there's a big indent around the wick? So you need to do another pour, at least one more pour. So these tiny little travel tins that smell like Mai Tais, I scented them like Mai Tais, you would just pour in a little more wax just to fill in that hole, and then let it sit again. You do that for all your candles. And usually I still have the popsicle stick attached, but I wanted to show you. Let me see if I don't spill it and burn myself. That's another good thing about the crock pot is that you won't burn yourself. Well, you may burn yourself, but it won't be serious. No, and wax is a flash point, so if you get it too hot, it'll combust. So it's not going to get too hot in the crock pot. Then again, disclaimer, do not wander off, stay in the same room with it, at least while it is heating up. And this here, this has had 2 pours, but I still have a little bit of an indent there. I don't know if you can, I'm trying to catch the light, but I don't know if you can really see it because it's white. So I'm going to give that another little pour, top it off the top there. And I'm going to set that aside to harden. Alright. And these, you can make candles in tins, glasses, mason jars, glasses from the dollar store, whatever you have, really, honestly. You could do coffee mugs. In fact, I used to use a coffee mug to scoop my wax, like that, out of the thing. That works so much better. Yay, Zebs! Woohoo! North Conway, live free or die! I love New Hampshire. Alright. Okay, so decorating our candle. Here's one that's all cleaned up and finished, and I put a little label on it. The labels can be found in my shop, Lindsay Stamp Stuff. It's a brand new digital stamp wine bottle labels. You can check them out, print them, and color them however you like. So basically, to clean your wine bottle bottom, I love the way that sounds, it's so fun. I would just I scrape off any wax that I got on there. Actually, this one's pretty clean. I didn't even mess it up, so I didn't have to clean it. And then any residue that's left, I just zap it with a heat gun and wipe it off, and good to go. So I printed off my little labels. This is for one of my friends who donated a bunch of wine bottles to my cause. I do not drink this much. I do not have 20 wine bottles lying around my house generally. People have been donating their wine bottles. I feel like I just need to have all these disclaimers in video today. So anyway, she gave me a bunch of wine bottles, so I made her this little candle. So I colored it, and then I used little letter stamps to stamp her name, and I stamped on a few like whiny stamps. Whiny stamps, haha. Whiny in a good way. And I printed this digital stamp off on sticker paper, so peeling off the backing, and then I'm just going to center it on my jar. Wine bottle bottom. Isn't that cute? And it's simple, it's fun, it's a great Christmas present you can make for the wine lover in your life. Just remember saying those edges so you don't cut yourself. And well, that's about it. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy crafting! And don't be a whiner unless you're going to be a good whiner like this. Woohoo! See you later. Bye-bye.